invite you to test my gangster. Straight up. You don't like me, come test my gangster. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say, you know what I'm saying? If you see me, test my gangster. Bro, why nobody press me yet? I'm gangster, you know what I'm saying? Niggas don't respect my gangster every time I walk into a fucking building or wherever. Niggas don't, not dumb. You know what's crazy? Y'all gonna be so mad. Cause after I go back home with all my chains on, no scratches, y'all gonna be so sick. So why do it to yourselves? Why do it to yourselves, man? I can't even say what I really want to say. I gotta talk in code. Cause niggas be snitching. I can't even say what I really want to say. I gotta talk in code. Cause niggas be snitching.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine and all that has been going on revolving him, snitching on his gang, and further details about the case and what is being said around the internet. Now, a lot of people around the internet, they seem to feel like Tekashi 6ix9ine is some victim, and a lot of people are putting him in this victim category as if he was not an active participant in a lot of the things that have been going on and a lot of the things that was done to others on behalf of himself and the gang. In this video, I'm going to share with you what Jim Jones' involvement is and bring you guys more up to speed on some of the stuff that is not being talked about in the headlines. I did a very extensive breakdown of this when he first got arrested and talked about all the parties that were involved, but now people are going off of headlines and people don't really know the full story. So in this video, I'm going to try to fill in as many blanks as I can, and I'm going to let you guys know how Jim Jones is connected and why his name is coming up in the court proceedings. A lot of people think like, oh, well, why is he mentioning Jim? What does he have to do with it? Well, I'm going to let you guys know all of that in this video. But first, we're going to bring it back as early as possible. So let's talk about his early beginnings and what brought him up to be the snitch that he is today. So a lot of people do not know that Tekashi 6ix9ine started out as a Crip. He was a wannabe wankster and he was trying to find whatever organization would accept him. He started wearing blue rags, had blue comforters, and was representing himself as a Crip. He ended up getting into a feud with the game, and then he got exposed for being a fake blood and once a Crip. He then tried to come forward and explain it and tried to make it seem as though, oh, I'm not a blood or I'm not a Crip. I'm just me getting money. But, you know, we all know that that's a lie. But I'm going to show you that video and then we're going to move on with the story.
Y'all niggas, oh, he was Crip, now he blood. Just because you see me with mad blood niggas don't mean I'm blood. Just because y'all see me with mad Crip niggas don't mean I'm Crip. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with both niggas, bro. I'm good in my hood. Niggas love me in my town.
I mean, it's quite the difference from hanging around somebody that is a Crip and having a blue bandana, repping blue, and having a full-on blue comforter, blue this, blue that. You hop from one bandwagon or trying to rep one thing to the next, but it's okay because the social media is accepting and they allow fake gangsters, and this is what gets applauded.
Never by myself, bro. Never by myself. Niggas always talking about... That niggas always see me by myself, don't do nothing. If you don't like me, do something about it, because I'm always in New York by myself.
Anyway, so at the start of the trial, it is revealed how Tekashi 6ix9ine started rapping. They first established where he went to school, where he started to get his jobs, and then he talks about working at a grocery store, and then he was a delivery boy for 2 years, and then he landed a job as a busboy, and then after that is when he became a rapper. He mentions it all started when a guy by the name of Peter Rogers came into the store, and, you know, some of the context is missing from this tweet, but the actual audio has a little bit more context. He talks about how the guy, Peter Rogers, came into the store and wanted to know if he was a rapper. He told Peter Rogers that he was not a rapper, and Peter Rogers told him that he had the look for it, and they started working on music.
When you started making music in around 2014, what type of music were you making?
It was more of like a rock and roll rap.
Approximately how many records or songs did you release?
8, I believe around 8.
after that, he admits to the court that he was able to go on a tour over in Russia and make about $2,000. And then they wanted to know what made his style of music change. Like, when was the point in which he stopped doing this rock rap to the music that he does now?
Did there come a time when the type of music that you recorded changed?
Yes.
Approximately when did that happen?
It changed in September of 2017.
Okay, and around 2017 is when he became affiliated with 9 Trey. In the transcripts, it says, Billy is 9 Trey, so I asked him to provide members for the video. I met him at the studio in Williamsburg. And then it goes down and it says, Tekashi brought Hennessy to the location of the video, and that is where he met Shotty. And if you guys know Shotty, Shotty was acting as his manager, and he was like one of the leaders of the gang.
BBA, you already know this. We out here, bench die, sword die, bench die. Y'all niggas ain't coming out here with you. We out here, blood gang. Hold up.
Red Star, you heard?
Red Star.
Where we at? Where we really at? Where we fucking really at? Man, look. Hey, yo, look out for the Billy that video. You already know you can't come in. Hey, yo, you can't come in. Don't bother to come in, man.
Pop out.
What's up, nigga? Who want what? Where they want it?
Come here.
Pop out, nigga. Pop out, nigga.
Billy niggas, man. Billy ain't Trey Way, you already know. Shout out to all my Billy niggas, nigga. We in the style with it.
Trey Way,
not good here. Not good here. Red Sky's where we really at, nigga.
Okay, and as you can see the video, you can see him kind of trying to embrace some of the members, and some of them are kind of like egging him a little bit. But this is when he started to encounter with 9 Trey. In the court transcripts, they then asked when it was that he actually joined the gang, and he said that he joined in November of 2017. So this video shoot was in September, and then they allowed him to join in November.
Now, you listed racketeering as one of the crimes to which you pleaded guilty. Were you a member of any gang?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the gang that you were a member of?
The 9 Trey Bloods. 9 Trey Blood.
Approximately when did you become a member?
Around, I would say November of 2017.
They wanted to know if he had to be initiated in the gang and what he did to get in the gang, and he confirmed that he did not have to be initiated. It says, to be initiated, you had to do work like cutting someone's face, Mr. Hernandez, but you were not initiated, right? Right. His entry into the gang was to provide financial support to the gang, equipping them with guns so that they could go and buy guns. So they go on to say, so what did you get from 9 Trey? And this is what he got in exchange. He said, I would say my career, credibility, protection, all of the above. Treyway was something that we could market. So as you can see, he was not initiated the proper way, but he was rather there for him to get street cred and for them to then get financial means of support for the gang. And that was their arrangement. We will protect you. We'll allow you to have our street credibility. And in exchange, you will provide us with financial support and we'll be able to buy guns and do illegal activities. They then wanted to know what the ranking was of the gang members, like who's the shot caller, who's at the top, and what their ranks were. This is where Jim Jones and Mel Murder come into play. They don't mention Jim Jones at this point, but Mel Murder is associated with Jim Jones through Bird Gang. So they start off by first asking him how to throw up their little gang sign, and he has to demonstrate how they throw up the gang sign. He mentions how at first he was throwing it up wrong, and they had to make sure he got it down pat. Once he got it down pat, then that's when, you know, they started to ask, okay, well, what are the rankings of the gang? They said, does 9 Trey have a leadership structure? Yes, there was a street lineup and a prison lineup. Okay, and then they wanted to know how the prison lineup worked. And Tekashi responded and he said, from my understanding is that with the prison lineup, there was a higher up to get anything sanctioned on the street. Then they moved on to figure out what the street lineup was. And then it says that, you know, the ranks of the street lineup was made by Frank White and Magoo. They were the ones who said who had rank and who didn't. And then it said that there was a Godfather, Twins, 5-Star General, and some other rankings. Then they wanted to know who held the positions of these rankings. And Tekashi responded and he said, Mel Murder was the Godfather, and right up under that is where Shotty ranked. It also says a person by the name of Seco Billy was a 5-star, and then the judge intervenes to try to figure out when they were going to stop for the day. Now, if you guys did not follow Tekashi's career or see who his manager is, I'm going to play a quick video of who his manager or acting manager was, and then I'm going to show you who Mel Murder is. Here's first a video of Shotty.
The gangster that they think I'm not a shoot 'em up bang bang gangster if that's what they thinking about, bro.
Yeah, but that's the idea. Like when you,
bro, that's not gangster to me, man.
Shotty? There's nobody hotter than 6ix9ine in the game. Nobody, hands down. He the hottest in the game. It's nobody. It's nobody. There's no. I don't care if you think you're streaming more. It's none of that.
Yeah.
Oh hey.
Oh shit.
Treyway. You feel me?
Yo, you created the phrase of the year.
Treyway shit. Yeah, that's it.
Everybody saying Treyway this, Treyway that.
Do this to Treyway.
How you bumming, Shotty?
No, I'm bumming. It's fucking Treyway, nigga. What the fuck else I'm doing, nigga?
Bro, gangster is showing you, bro, at any cost, I'm gonna get the job done and I'm gonna get paid. Yo, bro, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Like, people know me, like, literally.
yeah.
Bro, the job is gonna get done, bro.
Okay, and that is the manager, Shotty, that has recently been sentenced to 15 years. And it was said that he had cried in court, and it's just a big old mess. Now, let me tell you about Mel Murder. A lot of you guys have been hearing this wiretap of Mel Murder talking to Jim Jones, but you really don't know backstory on who he is. Here is a little bit of background. So as I already stated, Mel Murder was high ranking, and then I guess Shotty was underneath him. Mel Murder was affiliated with Jim Jones back in the day with Bird Gang. He was a rapper and he was signed under Jim Jones, and they came up together. Now, let me show you a couple videos of Mel Murder.
Mel Murder, a.k.a. Merkham, you don't really see me. Mel Murder, a.k.a. Merkham, you don't really see me. I don't do Instagram, I do Insta-Blend, pussy. Billy up. Get hung high silly. Prejudice, any other shit. I don't give a fuck about nothing. Notch to shine, Billy up. You know what I mean? Anything else get shot down.
Now I'm on up the speed. Drink a Red Bull blood, then I roll up the weed. While I'm mobbing with the G's.
I'm talking about just the big homie talking. Be humble or be beheaded, motherfucker.
Straight up, man.
A whole lot of gang shit, nigga.
Straight up, nigga in New York with the real G's, man.
Huh? Yeah, what's up? We in the hood with it, man.
Let them know.
What's up? We in the hood with it.
Let them hang whatever.
What's up? Y'all niggas see it?
That's my pass to the street. Never snitch, follow codes and get cash in the street.
You hear the fire trucks. That's because that fire's coming out. Nigga.
Come out the booth sweating blood. Don't talk about shit like you heard bang bang anyway again.
Murder. What? You hear me?
That's how we do in the jungle.
You hear me? BHB motherfucking straight.
We in the overtown, we get out, nigga.
You heard?
Okay, so if you were not familiar, now you're familiar and you are up to speed with who Mel Murder is. He was a part of Bird Gang and he rapped with Jim Jones, and they were really tight, and they still are, as Jim Jones is still shouting him out. And as now there is a released wiretap audio, and you hear Mel Murder and him talking about the whole situation of what needs to happen with 6ix9ine. Last year when I covered this story, they had the words written out of the audio, but they had not released the actual audio file. The words of the transcript, they had a conversation with Jim Jones, and he was named as individual 1 in the conversation. And then they had another conversation that Mel Murder had, and he had talked to Shotty. When Mel Murder had talked to Shotty, he was saying basically what needed to happen with Tekashi 6ix9ine, and Shotty replied to him and said that he was going to feed Tekashi with bullets. Now, the audio that we are hearing now, recently I released it earlier to my channel. You hear him also have a conversation with Jim Jones. So I'm going to now play that audio right now.
He definitely humiliating Shotty right now. But
well, you got the picture up there next to the post. Like when you go to YouTube and World Star, they got his picture next to this shit. Everything he say, they got a split screen with Shotty picture next to this shit. This shit crazy, son. But he's doing that to make K9 think he don't got no relationship with Boy. That's what he trying to do. He trying to separate himself.
That's cool, but now he gotta get violated.
Yeah, super violated. Super duper. So ain't too much he can really do unless he gonna run around with 100 armed securities all day. You know what I'm saying? He gonna get tired of paying.
He ain't getting enough money for that.
That's a fact. And he just canceled all his shows.
He ain't a gang member no more.
Nah, he ain't nothing.
That's what Shotty needs to make sure he do.
Nah, we
tell that nigga that he's not a gang member no more. He kicked out the whip. He was never a gang member. Nigga, Shotty need to expose him.
Nah, it's pussy. Never to do. Yeah, they got a TMZ. TMZ want to talk to niggas on Monday. So Shotty like, you want me? Crippy. I think he said,
you don't need to be on no TMZ. Let Shotty be on TMZ.
I'm not gonna get on it, but he wanted me to talk to the nigga and tell the nigga what happened. Like, cause you know, my lap first. You feel me? So he want.
Nah, you don't say nothing. You let Shotty handle that shit, bro. You don't say nothing.
So don't say nothing.
Nah, Shotty gotta handle that shit. He get on TMZ. He need to talk his talk and he talk his shit. You dig?
Mm-hmm.
And he need to be very, very, very articulate about what he's saying, why he made people think that nigga was a gang member. He needs to let niggas know that he was never a gang member. He was always a money ploy for the gang members. He got to figure it out. But they gonna have to violate Shorty, because Shorty on some bullshit. Shorty think he gonna be going to the strip clubs and all that type of shit. Like, Shorty better get on his A game.
I already know Shotty. You know that nigga's a demon, homie. You know that nigga live for shit like this, homie. He gonna treat that nigga like how he was blowing Chinese shit up. He gonna be violating that nigga shit up. He don't got nothing to lose no more. This is all he had.
Well, he better get to violating. He better stalk Shorty every move. One of them security better get hit. Something better happen.
Nigga better stop mobbing, nigga.
You better start doing something. Once he start tearing the security down, ain't no security gonna want that job. He gonna have to stay in the house pretty soon. That's it. That's what happens. Once security get injured, them niggas like, nah, he's too much of a liability. I'm not gonna protect nobody that I know that is causing harm to us. No. And that's all these niggas gotta say. One shot, let niggas know, man, bro, we gonna tear the security up, bro. We not even worried about you, bro. You ain't even, we gonna tear the security up. Once niggas start doing that, the security gonna be like, listen, bro, I ain't in it for this, bro. You gonna have to do this shit on your own time, bro.
You can't, the security out in New York can't run around with fire on them, right?
Nah, them niggas, or unless they ex-police, but it don't matter at that time because they doing an illegal job. You dig? And it don't matter, because if shot ain't run down on them, they can't pull their gun out to shoot nobody unless a gun is pulled out.
Okay, so when everybody's seen the tweet of him mentioning Jim Jones and did not understand why Jim Jones was being mentioned, now you have a little bit more context as to why and how he is involved. Tekashi reaffirms to them that Jim Jones is also a part of 9 Trey. And as I already told you, he came up and him and Mel Murder were together with Bird Gang. Okay, so glad everybody is up to speed on that. Inner City Press continued to follow the trial throughout, but I'm going to now just tell you guys what they have on him, and I'll do a part 2 video where I read the rest of the court proceedings, add in other videos and stuff like that. But I covered this situation last year, and I broke down what they had on Tekashi, how he was involved and how he was intertwined, and what guilty part he played in all of this. I'm not going to reiterate all of it over as I've already broken it down. So what I'm going to do is just simply insert the video that I made back in November when he first was arrested, and the details were just now coming out. So everything from now on is going to be an inserted video of a breakdown letting you know what exactly Tekashi's involvement is. So let me get into this article and bring you guys totally up to speed. I'm gonna go to the blast because they have it, you know, everything down to a T on what's going on. So it says, Tekashi is facing life in prison for his part in a criminal organization that engaged in murder, robbery, and narcotics trafficking. According to the indictment obtained by the blast, Tekashi and his entourage members are accused of being in the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, which operates around Manhattan, the Bronx, and Brooklyn. According to documents, officials tracked Tekashi on April 3rd to a robbery of a man from a rival gang. They tracked the hip-hop artist's cell phone and through his social media postings and surveillance footage pinpointed him at the robbery. Later, when they executed a search warrant at Tekashi's apartment, they recovered a stolen backpack labeled Scum as well as an AR-15 pistol. So as you can see, that's the backpack and the pistol that they recovered from him. Anyways, it says, officials also claim that Tekashi sent video of the robbery to someone who posted on social media, and it was used to track the rapper back to the alleged crime. I mean, you know, all criminals aren't smart, and a lot of people get off on people knowing what they did, and you sharing videos is what can, in essence, get you caught. So, like it said he himself sent video of the robbery to somebody, and they posted it to social media. Anyways, law enforcement then traced Tekashi to a shooting that occurred on April 21st after 2 men made derogatory comments to the rapper and then followed him and Shotty as they were driving. The documents claim Shotty got out the car and fired 2 shots at the vehicle while Tekashi watched. So this is the still surveillance, I guess, of another incident that happened on April 3rd. And this is supposed to be, I guess, Tekashi and his friends, I'm assuming. So anyways, it says, later in that night, they went to the Barclays Center where Tekashi was scheduled to sing an entrance song for one of the fighters. During the event, a fight broke out between Tekashi's entourage and a rapper Casanova's entourage, and a shot was fired into the air. Surveillance footage links Tekashi to all the events listed and was entered as exhibits by prosecutors to argue their case for why he should not receive bail. 2 of the counts that Tekashi is facing have a maximum sentence of life in prison. The documents allege Tekashi and his associates comprised a criminal enterprise that participated in unlawful activity and engaged in violence with rivals of the gang. And this is an exhibit of one of the court documents. It says, at all times relevant to this indictment, Jamel Jones, a.k.a. Mel Murda, Kefano Jordan, a.k.a. Shotty, Jensel Butler, a.k.a. Ish, or Ish, I don't know, Daniel Hernandez, a.k.a. Tekashi 6ix9ine, and Fahim Walter, a.k.a. Crippy. The defendants and others known and unknown were members and associates of the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods, 9 Trey, or the Enterprise, a criminal organization whose members and associates in gang in among, so I guess the rest probably I would assume would say gang activity. That's just an excerpt of the official court document that they have. It says, officials claim 9 Trey committed multiple shootings, robberies, and assaults against their rivals, including those who they deemed disloyal to the enterprise. 9 Trey is accused of participating in drug running, including selling heroin, fentanyl. I don't even know how to pronounce this crap. The only thing I know is marijuana, and I'm gonna move on. Documents claim 9 Trey committed and agreed, attempted, and threatened to commit acts of violence to protect and expand their narcotics business and to protect fellow members of the enterprise. So here's another excerpt of the actual official court documents. It says, members and associates of 9 Trey committed and agreed, attempted, and threatened to commit acts of violence to protect and expand their narcotics business and to protect fellow members and associates of the enterprise. These acts of violence including acts involving murder, acts involving robbery and extortion, and assault, intended either to protect the enterprise narcotics narcotics business, retaliate against members of rival gangs who had encroached on the enterprise narcotics business, to otherwise promote the standing and reputation of 9 Trey amongst rival gangs, or to promote the standing and reputation of 9 Trey members amongst other 9 Trey members. The document alleged that on April 3rd, Tekashi, his manager, and 2 entourage members robbed some unknown rivals at gunpoint as part of a gang initiation. Officials claimed the robbery was for the purpose of gaining entrance to and maintaining and increasing position in 9. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman said in a statement, as alleged in the indictment, this gang, which included platinum-selling rap artist Tekashi 6ix9ine, wreaked havoc on New York City, engaging in brazen acts of violence, showing reckless indifference to others' safety. Members of the gang were allegedly involved in robberies and shootings, including a shooting inside a crowded Barclays Center and a shooting in which an innocent bystander was hit. Thanks to extraordinary work of HSI, ATF, and the NYPD, the defendants will now face justice in federal court. As we reported, the hip-hop star was taken into custody Sunday night by federal agents after a joint investigation by police, Homeland Security, and the ATF slapped him with racketeering and weapons charges. This is something that they have been building for months. This is not something that just happened on the strength of him just firing his team. This is something that all of these agencies came together to bring down a criminal enterprise. So I'm going to read a little bit more. It says, along with the Billy rapper, 3 of his associates, including his manager, Shotty, he and 2 other entourage members were recently arrested and charged with gang violence after a dust-up outside a trendy Chinese restaurant following Tekashi's probation victory. Tekashi had vowed to stay out of trouble but has found himself in violent situations, including a drive-by shooting while working on a music video with Kanye West in Beverly Hills. After his arraignment in court, Tekashi's bail was denied and he will be detained in custody pending trial. So it looks like, you know, the courts are deeming him a threat to society. They were wreaking havoc and they were not having it, so his bail was denied. What do you guys think about this situation? What do you guys think about what's going on? You know, we always see him doing a lot of trolling and having that, you know, you can't touch me, and feeling like he's above everybody. He felt like, you know, he's invincible. And now to see that he's going down for all of this, what do you guys think about that? Okay, so I just thought I'd add in the breakdown that I had already did. I did not want to read through all of that mess again because I had already done it last year. But there is a lot more context to this situation. You know, he took the stand and he was talking about Casanova. He was talking about Trippie Redd. They were talking about the situation that happened in the Barclays Center in detail. So I might do a part 2 where I break down a little bit more of what's going on and what they have on him and who's involved and what he's saying and all of that. But I just kind of wanted to fill in some of the gaps for a lot of the people who, one, know that Tekashi went down, know that he is in the feds and snitching, but did not know exactly what they had on him and how they got him to cooperate. You know, there was a lot of evidence that they had on him on the scene of the robbery, the shooting with Shotty. They had posted a video that connected him. They had these wiretaps, and they had been building this case for a very long time. It didn't just start when Tekashi entered the gang. They had been trying to, you know, take them down. But when Tekashi became a part of the gang, he became loud. They became more unruly, and they were able to use him because he was a fake gangster anyways. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was planted in the first place. You know, they used him to take down the gang that they were already trying to take down. So as you guys see, they already have Mel Murder. A lot of people think that Jim Jones will now be a part of this whole thing as well, being that he is on the wiretap talking about what should happen to Tekashi, you know. And we see how Shotty went down for 15 years, and it's just a whole big old thing. And one of the things that they said when I was reading through all of the transcripts, they were saying that Tekashi was cooperating so that he can get this 5K letter or something like that. I'm just going off the top of my head from memory. He's working towards this 5K letter, which is basically you're like a confidential informant. You're cooperating with the feds. You're answering questions and you're taking everybody down. And in exchange for that, you get a better deal. And one of the questions they had asked, if, you know, he cooperates and they give him the minimum, what's the soonest he can be out? And he has said that I believe early next year is the soonest that he could be out if all goes well in his favor. We shall see. But again, I might do a part 2. If you guys want a part 2 and more of a breakdown on what happened with Trippie Redd, what happened with this, what happened with that, then leave it down in the comments below and let me know right now. All right, guys, that's all for this video. Stay tuned for more celebrity news and gossip. But in order to do that, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button right now. And for this particular video, I think I might add my Cash App in the comment section because it took a lot of hard work to put this together. And in this whole Tekashi subject, they are not going to monetize this. So if you want to support my content and support my channel, I'll have that in the comment section below. Okay. And again, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I post a video, be sure to turn on your post notifications so you're notified. All right, guys. Peace.
What would you do if you were locked up with 69? The rapper 69, the one with the colored hair, with the pretty little tattoos. 69 tattoo, the one with the pink, yellow, red hair. If you really think about it, could you imagine if you were locked up for the rest of your life? And he was the only pretty little that you got to see every single day in your jail cell? He's not that bad looking now if you think about it, if you're in jail for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?